The Cyclospora outbreak that has sickened thousands across the country is hitting northwest Arkansas especially hard. The Arkansas Department of Health reports 205 cases total in Arkansas. Benton County has more than any other county in the state. Food safety experts tell 5 News reporter Taylor Howard what they're watching for as the outbreak continues.
124 cases of Cyclospora reported in Benton County, the highest number in the state of Arkansas. But a growing number doesn't necessarily mean more people are getting sick right now.
What we're seeing is not more people continuing to get sick. What we're doing is, if you look, you're seeing basically people are being connected.
Bill Marler is a food safety attorney who's worked with foodborne illness cases for more than 30 years. He says connecting those people back to what they ate can take weeks.
The incubation period is, up to 2 weeks. So trying to remember what the heck you ate 2 weeks ago, it's a challenge.
Dr. Kristen Gibson directs the Center for Food Safety at the University of Arkansas, studying how to keep food safe when it's grown and processed. She says the parasite can get into our food long before it makes it into the grocery store, like in farm facilities that aren't clean.
It becomes kind of a perfect storm of, you have something that's in the population, you're growing food there, and if things are not treated appropriately, say the irrigation water, that's a way it can spread into our food supply.
Marler is already representing over 450 people sick with Cyclospora. He says many of them got sick from lettuce at Taco Bell.
This is the largest foodborne illness outbreak that I've been involved in the last 30 years. So it's a big public health disaster.
Marler believes there are people who got sick weeks ago that still haven't been counted yet.
My strong suspicion is because the product's off the market, we're going to see less people being counted over the next couple of weeks.
So what about the produce in your fridge or at your favorite restaurant?
It is not all contaminated. Like, we eat produce all the time. We are not sick all the time. Trying to be sure that we're communicating this specific risk in the best way possible to be sure people are aware, but also not fearful.
She says the best thing you can do is pay attention to recall notices and know which products to avoid. In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Taylor Howard, 5 News.
If you think you have Cyclospora, Gibson says if you're not getting better in a week or two, go see your doctor. And that's important for tracking the outbreak, so a doctor can order the test that's needed to confirm whether you have Cyclospora. Well, Benton County is moving forward with a nearly $20 million jail expansion aimed at addressing growing lack of space for misdemeanor offenders. The county plans to add a new 285-bed misdemeanor pod next to the existing jail. Sheriff Sean Holloway says the current jail is so overcrowded that many people who are arrested for misdemeanors are released rather than held. He says that can create additional costs when defendants fail to appear in court.
They get released, then paperwork goes to the court and they don't show up. They have people have to go through there, they enter the warrant, and there's a cost associated with this. And you multiply that times thousands and thousands of times, there is a real cost to the taxpayer.
The facility is expected to open in phases, likely beginning in late 2028 or early 2029. The county has set aside about $20 million to build the new pod, but once it opens, it could cost more than $4 million a year to fully operate. We told you this week about the growing concern statewide after an extension on Arkansas's Medicaid expansion program was denied. Well, tonight we've learned that the state is seeking a temporary solution to help transition away from the program. More than 200,000 Arkansans get their insurance from the program. Under Our Home, the state uses Medicaid dollars to buy private health insurance for low-income Arkansans. The governor's office says federal officials verbally denied the state's request to extend the current waiver. Well, now Department of Human Services Secretary Janet Mann has sent a formal letter seeking a 2-year extension of the program. She says that will give the state time to wind down the current program and get a new one ready. Arkansans who have oil or gas on their land might now be able to get a little more money from energy companies. It's all thanks to a recent court ruling. Carter Thweet breaks down what you need to know and why some people are celebrating.
Conway resident Mike Norman has leased his land to energy companies for years.
I've dealt with British Petroleum, I've dealt with XTO, I've dealt with Merit, I've dealt with BHP.
They pay him to harvest his minerals, but one company rubs Norman and a lot of other people the wrong way.
That all came tumbling down when flywheel started accumulating those mineral rights in that area.
Flywheel Energy started to pay landowners less, arguing they could deduct some production costs before calculating the payouts. Officials and residents of north central Arkansas, where the practice is popular, disagreed and a lawsuit ensued.
We have fought for the property owner, the owner of those mineral leases. You are going to get paid what your lease states you should be paid.
Earlier this week, the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in their favor. They said that a recent law, Arkansas Act 1024, clarifies what was always the case. Royalties should be paid without removing production costs.
That's what makes this even more special, because now that money's coming back to Arkansas, to the people who own the minerals.
Flywheel Energy could not be reached for comment Thursday. Landowners like Norman hope that this is the start of Arkansans being paid what they believe they're due.
And I think what the ruling is going to do is hold Flywheel accountable.
It does clear the way for the possibility of a class action suit for everyone that's similarly situated to get it resolved.
It's Carter Thweet reporting. As far as exactly how much money Arkansans could get as a result of the lawsuit, officials aren't 100% sure, but they said the courts have been holding $6 million in escrow from 2025 alone, while those deductions have been going on since 2019. Well, it was the start of the school year for several of our area school districts, including Decatur, Poto, and Spiro, which you see here on your screen, started the new year. District leaders say they spent the summer completing several campus improvement projects, including cafeteria renovations, upgrades to the air conditioning, and 2 new buses to the transportation fleet. Well, Springdale Public Schools returns to the classroom next week, and this school year, the district will have a new type of facility. Jones Elementary closed last year. It's now the Jones Prep Academy. The district held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for it today. The district says Jones Prep Academy centers around offering more behavioral health and family support for students.
It is a continuum of care, bridging the gap between educational services and behavioral health and mental health, and also the most important piece is bringing families alongside us and keeping them right beside us in every decision that we make for kids. Say the school is a trauma-responsive learning environment. Kids who went to Jones Elementary last year are now at Biari and Knapp Elementaries. In Fayetteville, the school district announced today this year's inductees for the district's Hall of Honor. 2 of the people being honored have a special place in the district's history. Thelma and Romy Thomason were the first Black educators to work in Fayetteville. Thelma taught elementary school for 61 years, the longest tenure ever in the district. The district also voted to rename the new middle school after Thelma.
It's important just because I think oftentimes we don't really highlight the contributions that they've made to society in their lifetime until they are no longer with us. So the fact that they're able to just be in a room filled with people who care, respect them, and have been impacted by them allows them just to get their flowers, so to speak.
Romy taught all over the district for 50 years. He passed away in 2016. The Hall of Honor ceremony is scheduled for October at the Fayetteville Public Library. Well, if you watch Naturals baseball, you're well aware of the in-state rivalry with the Arkansas Travelers. A new stadium deal seeks to keep the rivalry going for a long time. North Little Rock and the Travelers are negotiating a new lease where the minor league team plays. Under the new deal, the team would have to stick around for 2 decades, but the city would have to handle all major structural repairs and capital improvements. That includes a $10 million project to repair sinkholes and drainage issues by next March. Despite the high financial commitment, fans say they want to see the team stick around.
We need some more support from all these baseball fans out here because we want the Hogs to continue to come here and play. We need this in downtown Little Rock.
North Little Rock City Council is scheduled to vote on the proposed lease during its next meeting on Monday night.